Hey guys, welcome to another Tuesday night in the man cave. Now tonight, you can see there's a green bike here. This is a 1983 Kawasaki KX80. I just managed to get this today. It's friends of ours, and they used to use it on their farm years ago. Kids have grown up and they don't use it anymore. It's just been sitting in the shed for years. So I swapped them an air conditioner and a coffee table, and I got a motorbike to muck around with. So I've got Tommy, the Postie bike up there. It's out of the shot because it's coming along bloody fantastic. So tonight what we got going on is so more footage of Tommy. I've got a great website that I want to share with you guys that I use for doing GPS routes. So when I want to create a route. So that's in between the footage of doing up the Postie bike, and then there's stuff after that. I've got another sticker for the worldwide sticker board, and I think that's about it. Anyway, I'm going to get... what I'm doing with this at the moment is I'm just prepping it, getting it ready, just cleaning up everything, air things and checking the oils and bloody spark plugs and all that kind of stuff to see if I can get it started. Anyway, where are we going? We're going to the Postie bike. Alright guys, so we're continuing on with the Postie. Now I've ready to bloody weld this bar in. And now what I've done is I've saved you guys all the bloody metal cutting and the grinding. So basically this piece, which was a part of a roof rack, so I've just cut it as best as I can. Look, there's nothing bloody flash about it. And then of course I've just grinded down the area that I'm going to weld on, because apparently that's what you've got to do when you're welding. That's a good practice to do. As you guys know, I am just a learner at welding, so I reckon I've got a pretty good... Oh, if I had two hands I'd have that. Yeah, that's about it. So that's set there. Weld that there, and then weld that on there. Get that a bit bloody straighter. And then I can start painting all this stuff once that's welded on, which I'll have done bloody very shortly. So I'm a bit excited to get that done. Now I've also, in that last bit of footage I just showed you a glimpse of this. This is the battery cover. I'll just show you where it goes. So on this older bloody Postie, this actual thing is smaller than the other one, but that actually goes over there, over the battery, and that's a 6-volt battery. But it's just plain. So what I've done is I've just hot glued some these bloody nut things on there, and then these, that's actually what do you call it, zip ties. I've cut the end off it and I've just put that there. So once they get sprayed up, I'm hoping that's going to look pretty good. Again, it's just about putting all those little details in there. I might spray that, put it there, and it'll look bloody absolute shit, and then I'll just have to do something different. I actually tried to put cut a coffee tin in half and put it over it, but it just looked absolutely bloody stupid. Alright, let's get into welding this up. Alright guys, so that's step one, just tacking it on there. As you can see, I am crap at welding, but I know that I've done stuff on my trailer and on Nay's Postie bike out there, the actual seat, something that she sits on and then cops a lot of bouncing and stuff like that, and it's still holding up. So I'm confident that even though it looks crap, and most probably is a bit crap, for the amount of weight and structural kind of stuff that this is doing, it's just not a problem at all. So if you want to burn me out for bloody shit welding, go for it. I don't care. Nah, you guys are alright anyway. Alright, I won't continue to... I'll just get all this bloody done up. I won't bloody bore you with it, and then we'll get on to some other stuff. Alright guys, so job done. Now I'll show you my shitty job. Now I've grabbed the bar at the back and the front and picked up the bike, you know, the back and then the front, and it's not moving anywhere. So I'm going to call it a Mad Max weld, but I'm sure that's putting shit on Mad Max, so there you go. As shitty as shit. What do they call that? Bloody, I don't know, birds. Eh? Cocky shit, there you go, no knows it. Look at that for cocky shit. But it's not supposed to be pretty. All it's got to do is do the bloody job. Alright guys, so this is what it is right now just before I start spray painting. There you go. Alright, I'm going to start spray painting. I thought I'd just quickly show you. This is the extent of my masking up of the bits that I don't want to spray. So it's as rough as guts as what I'm doing. It's bloody easy and it's lots of fun. Alright, new tin. This one will spray better. And there we go. Alright, there you go guys, that's the spray job. So I've even done that back wheel. That'll flatten out even more. It's flattened out a fair amount. But yeah, using that pot belly black, so it's used for the pot belly stoves. Has that browny tinge to it. Cool, so I'm going to quickly give this thing a spray up and see what that comes up like. Alright, so I got that spray painted. Now I actually run out of bloody spray paint, so I've only used a tin and a half. I only had half of one tin. I reckon that's come up alright. That'll flatten out even more. I had the hairdryer on this just to flatten it out quickly, but that'll flatten out even more. So yeah, just some nuts hot glued on there and those zip ties super glued on. That's it. It's just added a little bit of extra interest to it. Cool bananas. So I've got to paint the peanut tank. I'm not sure whether I'm just going to paint it the same colour as that. I want to have a bit of difference. I was talking to Nate about, you know, I wasn't too sure whether this was too much, but as we go along, I think it's going to need some stuff to break the bike up. So, and plus that'll get dirty as well, so it'll just tone that wrap down. So as for the peanut tank down there, it'll certainly get a coat of this, but I might just do something else with it. And I want to try and maybe, I could go to the effort of rusting it, but it's going to just take too long to rust this bloody cap here. So I might just have a play with trying to do an effect with it with paint. Alright, well I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. And I'll see you when I bloody do a little bit more. Alright guys, I want to show you a website that I use for when I'm planning on doing a route somewhere that's not on roads, obviously off-road or something like that. What I do is I use a website called GPS Visualizer, and I map out using that, and it then gives me, I can save it as a GPS file to then load on my phone for mud maps, or if you've got a GPS like a Garmin or something like that, you can then load it into there. Hey presto, hit your bloody follow or your track or whatever, and away you go. So I'll bring you over and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so to get to this, just go to bloody Google or whatever and type in www.gpsvisual, and I think it should come up. Yeah, you'll see it there, Visualizer. And basically that's the website that you're going to come up with. Now there's heaps of things that you can do on this website. There's a ton of, like if you're into GPS, you know, routes and all that kind of stuff, there's just so many different things that you can do with it. The main thing that I want to show you is what they call the sandbox drawing, which I find is just bloody super fantastic. And I'll show you, that's when I'll show you with the Grampians how I basically did that and what ended up when I tracked it all out. It can take time to track it out if you do it really fine and keep to the tracks. But you can use it so that you can just do the basic routes and not, you know, that's what Alistair does. And then when he's done stuff, I've got him to email it to me, and then I followed his and I've made it more intricate. I like to be, I like wasting bloody time, I suppose. But anyway, I'll show you, come down here. Okay, so that's that sandbox one there that I'm talking about. So what we'll do is basically all you're going to do is click on that. So you can see it just brings up the whole world. So obviously I'm in Australia, so we go to Australia. Same as like if you're using Google Maps or Google Earth. And then you can just zoom in like you normally would. So I know that the Grampians is here. Okay, so I've zoomed down. Here's Hall's Gap there. So what I did was I started tracking. Now, I've just got to make sure I can see. So alright, I've zoomed down, and this is Hall's Gap, which is where we started to do that trip. So what we're going to do is come over, and I'll zoom in on that. So they've got these little tools here. So what we want to do is we want to make a track. I don't worry about anything else out of these, it's just the track. So as you might be able to see, I've got this little cross. So this is Hall's Gap, I'd start, so I just click once and then I just follow the road. And I just keep following that road around. And then when I get to the corner, then I go around the corner. So it's real simple. Now let's say I make a mistake and I go up here and I go, oh, whoops. It's just a matter of clicking the other mouse button and taking them off and then coming back to here and going around. So it's really simple to use. Now if I wanted to get really intricate, I've just got to scroll in and then I can be more intricate. And basically I just followed all the way around, and most probably took me about an hour to do it. So if you wanted to, you don't have to follow each of these little tiny bits. You can go, all right, I wanted to go to there and then to there and down here, you know, stuff like that, just to make it a lot quicker. So now what I'm going to do is show you how we get, once we've done this, I mean, we can just click on here again. Can you see that, guys? I'll zoom in on that. So basically now I've just clicked on that last one and it's asking for the track name, so I'd put in there Grampians, whatever you want to call it. You can change, like if I want to make this, instead of it being red, I can make it a different colour. You have all those little options. And then we just go save. So that's now saved. Now what we've got to do, zooming back out and just across here, sorry about the clicking noise, I'm being lazy and not loosening my thing. So now we come over here and we go, you can save it as a text file or a GPX file or a KML file. Now the GPX file is what you would use to do it on a GPS. The KML file is for use in Google Earth. Now whether they're for use in other bits and pieces, I don't know. All I know is that I use the GPX file for putting it on my iPhone, and I use the KML file for viewing this in Google Earth, which is really, really cool. So you just click on GPX file, it then creates it for you. You click on that, and then you'll see down here, it's, oh, where are you there? It's basically saved that file for me. So then, back over here, scrolling again. Now I go, well, I want a KML file. Exactly the same. Click on that and it's now downloading it to my, there it is, I've got it on my hard drive, so I can close all this down. That's it, that's all you got to do. So now I can just go, thanks for that GPS visualizer, that was totally free, I didn't have to pay any money for it, beautiful. And then here are the files. So these are ones that I'd already done earlier. So this is the Grampians ride. Let me zoom in a bit. So this is what I'd actually mapped out on there. Alright, so the GP, if we go to the KML file, so that's the Google Earth. So all I've got to do is double click on that. Instantly starts up Google Earth. And hey presto, we go spinning around the world. And takes us straight to there. So that's the Grampians. So we can scroll in, and this is the cool thing, is that Where can I get it? Hang on, get back out. Once it starts loading, you get all the definitions, and obviously we can change that around. So you get an idea of the ups and downs and all that kind of stuff on it. So yeah, that's really cool, just having that little file. But the GPS, so that one there, is what I would normally do is then I just email that to my iPhone and then import it into Mud Maps. So there you go, guys. Yeah, I find that that's really useful. It's bloody great. It does the job. Hopefully that all worked out okay. That was just using this camera, not using a screen capture or whatever. But anyway, all right, back to the man cave. All right, guys. So status update. I've got the bike out, bloody sitting in the sun. That paint's all bloody nice and drying up, so I'll be able to start attaching the tank on here and start to do the seat. Got this up here. I've got to still go to Bunnings and get some more spray paint to do another coat on that one. Go and show you what I've decided to do with the tank. Now, I was planning on doing like black or covering it in some type of canvas. Now, we're having a look at what spray paint we had. And we come across the bloody chrome. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do it in this chrome. And yes, I know you're going, what the hell? I reckon it's going to work. It may not work when I put it on. I've already sat it on there. And I think it's going to look good. Now the other thing that's going to go with that, and I'm most probably going to have, underneath this is obviously black, so I might put some wear marks in it so that the black starts to show through on certain spots. I'm also going to get Nay to make me up a stencil so I can have Tommy written on both sides in the black. Now the other thing that's we've just worked out, we're trying to work out what we're going to do on the seat, and I was talking about using goat skin, and I found there's a place in Melbourne that sells the goat skin. It's like $116 for it or whatever, and it's like, oh. And I looked at kangaroo skin, but the kangaroo skin's more of a fluffy type thing, whereas the goat is really good because it's like that strong hair, so from a weather point. Anyway, Nay says she's got some bloody jackets that she doesn't use. She bought from China, and this is it. So I'm gonna, because what I'm gonna do, I'll lay this out here. So this is a brand new bloody jacket. Oh, got a bloody hoodie on it. That she got from China, and it just doesn't work with her body type. Any women watching this will know what I'm talking about when they go, oh, it just doesn't suit my bloody body type. So we're gonna, and I want the seat on that bike to be very thin profile. So using the leather is going to work a bloody treat, I reckon. So I reckon if I do it on the back, I should be able to get a fair decent amount of material out of that back. And of course it's going to have all this cool stuff on it. So I'll have that wrapped around that MDF. Obviously a small piece of foam in it. And then what I'm going to do is I'll use either sandpaper or steel wool or something to try and wear up that leather. It's most probably not real leather. It'll be just it'll be some, I don't know, imitation shit. But there you go. So I just thought I'd give you a quick look around here now, and I'll see you tonight when we start getting into it. All right, guys, I better show you what I'm doing before I go too bloody far. I found a bit of MDF in Nay's shed, so that's what the seat, and that's how far back it's going to be. I'll try and get a good look. There you go. I wanted it so that it was way back because I like sitting way back on it when I first rode it and having your feet forward and you're stretching out for the handlebars. So I think that's what we're going with. So I just got to sand it all up, and then we'll look at getting some bloody foam and putting that leather on, and then bloody weathering all that up. Cool. Alright guys, so we've got the tank on. It's now solid on there. Still got to do that work on that stuff. We've just been working on the seat, so that's the seat. as it is. So it's just held onto where the back rack would normally screw in on the top part. And underneath we've got some cushioning stuff just underneath here, and we're going to actually put some more underneath this side and also underneath this side when we screw it all down and we've got all the other stuff on top. And what I'm using is just this foam stuff, so we have that doubled up quite a few times, so it'll just give that little bit of take a bit of shock bloody value out of it. But the springs on this should be alright anyway. Cool, so we've got around some edges on that. Then what else we're going to do, Nay?
Cover it, foam it, make it fabulous.
You heard her, let's get to it. I'll just quickly show you what we had underneath it. So I've put just one layer there, which is where that ridge, which is this ridge here, that bit there. Underneath, where are we? Underneath there, I dug a bit of that out on here, and then we've just stapled that over it. And these are those little cushioning things, which is basically this stuff, 3 of these, and then just duct taped around. Okay, so we've got all that sanded up. Nate's done a nice job of sanding those edges. We're now going to put this, so this will be a nice absorbent, like a hard compact bloody absorbency. And then we've got this old pillow, which will get a thin layer of that on there. And now Nate's going to cut up this jacket to match that seat. Beautiful. Okay, so apparently I did all the work while Nay made faces. Happy with yourself?
Yes, it's pretty.
Alright, so we've wrecked that bloody jacket now. This is really thin stuff. It's got a bit of stretch to it. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Alright guys, so we've got the seat done now. It was a bit of a wangle to get it all done, but with Nay's help, her big help, we got it done. So there you go. It's not bloody perfect or anything, but that's the whole idea of this bike. Nothing is to be perfect. Who knows how long this will last, because it was only very bloody thin stuff. But so there you go. Look at that. I'm absolutely loving it. This wasn't, this isn't exactly how I started out. Like I first thought the seat was going to actually come down and be part of this, but I really like the way that is. And I think the tanks work. So you're just getting that bit of a break. So it's not just all black. You've got some little highlights to make things pop out. So hopefully, if I find a nice font, I'll be able to put Tommy across there in black on both sides. We actually tried to put a sticker on there and it just looked shit, so we took that off. Not sure what I'm going to do here, whether I'm going to do much or whatever, but I've still got that burlap and bits and pieces. I'll obviously kind of like disguise this kind of shitty part. Still got that battery cover to go on there. Cool. I'll bloody get the tripod and I'll sit on it. I'll even start it up. Good shit. Hang on guys, before we go into the bloody man cave, we're in the man cave, but you know what I mean, back to the bloody Tuesday night in the man cave. I got a bit excited and I've used a stencil thing that Nay uses for her woodwork stuff, that it cuts stickers. So this is what I've got. Bloody Nay's at a friend's place and I've got onto her little machine and I worked out how to use it. And so I'm just about ready to spray that. It even looks good just as the sticker before all this other stuff was on it. So we're going to give it a spray now. So I'm just going to use the Potbelly stuff on there. Now the idea is I don't want it to be like solid. I just want to do a real like, oh no, it's like staged or whatever. Anyway, here we go. Oh, I think that'll be enough. Done deal. Alright guys, so now I'm going to wait a few minutes just to let that set a little bit. I don't want it to fully set before taking it off. So I'll come back to you when it's done, and hopefully it's bloody awesome. Alright guys, I thought we'd do it together. Let's peel this off. Oop. Check that out. That's cool as. Well, there you go. That was pretty bloody simple to do, eh? And that came up bloody way better than what I expected. So now, what I've got to try and do is see if I can, I don't know, put some bloody wear marks or scratches or something to show through to the black. But it's bloody scary doing that, because now that I've put that stencil on, before I should have actually tried to do that before doing the stenciling, because then I could have just sprayed back over it, but whatever. Alright, I'll have a bit of a play with just putting some interesting marks in it. Cool. Alright guys, so I've got some what I call interesting marks. I basically just got a bit of sandpaper and rubbed it up just so, I don't know, call it weathered, whatever you want, beat up. So I reckon now I want to change that, and I might reckon I'll do that black. So I'm going to go spray that black. You hanging with me? Alright guys, so there is the cat painted pot belly black. It's still got it's got a bit of a shine to it at the moment, but as it dries, it'll flatten out the same as the bike. And of course, as it ages, everything will just flatten out. Cool. So now I've got to do this. Now, if this was real leather, I would get sandpaper or something and just wear it that way. But because this is just cheap bloody Chinese fake bloody leather stuff, I don't want to do that because it'll just bloody rip. So I'm going to have to use paint, I think. So I'll just use that pot belly black and spray that onto a rag, and then see if I can do some type of smearing on here just to give it a bit of weathered look. I don't know, might mix it up with some other colours like white or something. We'll give it a whirl and see what happens. Alright guys, so I've just done that bloody wiping that stuff on there. I don't know, I've laid this here so if we possibly see a difference. So if I get rid of that, hopefully, it's hard to see in this bloody screen. So it's just darkened it, and you can just see the darkened lines. Just gives it that bloody bit better of a weathered look, I suppose. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is, because I've got that on there, I'm going to carry that through, and I'm going to do it in that section there. So I'll put material around there exactly the same, and then have those zip ties that come out like that. Well, there you go guys, another bloody job done. That material has been wrapped on. And Tommy's got some spikes at the back. The bloody dog's, look at it, she's snoring. Hey, wake up. Wakey wakey. Hello? You awake? She doesn't care. Bloody Snorlax, that's what we call it, Snorlax. Alright, well there you go, that's another bloody job done. Crazy. So, what else have I got to do? So, I've still got to get the drum thing set up. I'm gonna put a suicide shift or suicide stick on it, which I'll basically weld a stick that comes up here with some type of bloody knob or something like that, so that should look pretty cool on there. Here, what I'm thinking is I'll put something, I don't know, it might end up being wood that goes in there, I'll paint it up so it most probably doesn't look like wood, but put some knobs and switches and bits and pieces on there. They won't do anything, but that might look a bit cool. Bloody hell, I think it's getting a bit late. I'm struggling to talk now. Might be the paint fumes, I don't know. Oh dear, alright. Having an absolute, I know I keep saying it, but I'm just having so much fun with this bike. Yeah, bloody crazy. Yeah, so there you go. Alright, cool. That's I think that's it for now. Really for sure, back to the other thing. Cool. Shit, hang on guys, I lied. One last thing, that's it. I put the battery cover on. So there you go, that's the battery cover on there. So instead of that just being, there was no nuts and none of that in there, it would have been just plain. So I think that's just given a little bit of interest to it, but not too much, but yeah. Cool. See ya. Alright guys, so we've got another sticker in the mail. I've got to say, I love bloody going to the mail, opening up the little mailbox, and out comes an international letter, because it's like, oh, there's got to be a sticker in there with a board. Alright, this one's from Norton, Massachusetts in the USA. It's from Mike and Colleen. Thanks Mike and Colleen. This is a different bloody cool sticker. So here's the sticker, guys. So SHS, Steel Horse Sisters. What does it say? Yeah, Steel Horse Sisters, baby! Naturally seductive, yet still lovably irritating. Yes, irritating. Sorry, I thought I got that wrong. Alright, so they've got a little letter. Hey Mark and Nay, love the vids, great work and very entertaining. If you ever find yourself in the USA, let us know. We will show you the best riding on the East Coast. Keep on riding. Mike and Colleen, Norton, Massachusetts, USA. Thanks guys, awesome. Alright, now we've got to put it on. That is an awesome sticker. Alright, so that's going to be a real easy one. I'll bring you in a bit closer. Well, I suppose I should say so. Australia, and there we go. Massachusetts is on the east coast of the United States of America. And another new sticker. Oh, Jesus, that's upside down. And make sure I don't cover anything up. Beautiful. Alright guys, we'll just do a quick run around of the stickers. So our very first one was from Denmark. Then we've got UK there, UK there. And then we come down, Australia, which is the Peninsula Posties. And of course the New Zealand one. And now, and we've got the Dragon, which was, I've got to look again now, oh my God, North Carolina and Massachusetts. Bloody awesome. Alright guys, so that's it for Tuesday night in the man cave. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm still continuing along very slowly on cleaning this up. As I'm taking bits off, I'm taking it over to the Kero wash and just cleaning stuff up, even stuff that I don't really need to do, but I'm just doing it as I pull stuff off. There's obviously, I know there's an issue with the fuel, the water pump in here, which you can operate without that. And also the Kickstarter's got a bit of a slip in it, so I've got to get that off and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, hope you guys have a good week, and remember, keep on riding, and if you're not riding, keep on keeping on.